feels like today things are actually starting for real, because I've got some bits and pieces have arrived. The first one, which has been holding me up for a little while, not too long because I'm a bit reluctant to start it, is this, which is a FEMA extractor fan, which is going to go up in the ceiling of the van. The reason I'm doing this, as you might have seen from a previous video, is because I've got two big rust patches on the inside of my ceiling, and it's not just interior rust, it's holes right through. So I was recommended to fit a sunroof up there, and I thought I came up with this idea as perhaps a little bit more useful. So that's got to go up there. Not doing it today, but that's got to go up there, mainly because I haven't got enough time. So as well as that, we've got some other goodies that have arrived. We have a switch pack, which is where all my interior sort of electrics will be run to and from, so I can isolate things. There's also a voltage regulator in that, not regulator, sorry, a voltage meter in that, so I can see what the state of the leisure battery is in. And speaking of leisure battery, something else I've got, which is going to go in a minute, or at least I'm going to start it in a minute, is this. It is the, I won't get it out because there's no real point, but it is the kit for split charge relay. So I've never fitted one of those before, so that'll be a bit of fun. And I've also got LED lights here which have turned up for my ceiling. So that's the interior lighting for the van during the day, during the evening even, but not the entry lights. So I'm going to put other lights that will come on when you get in and out of the van, the same as you do at the moment. So yeah, I've got lots of little things to play with, and I wish I knew where those screws came from. Let's assume they came out of there. So I'll stick them in there, and at least I'll know where to look for them later when I discover that they're from somewhere else. So yeah, that's me. Lots of goodies to play with, but right now I'm going to have a crack at the split charge relay system, which I've never done before. First, before I do that, I've got to reposition my leisure battery, which I took out. It was underneath the driver's seat, which I hated. I didn't like it under there. It wasn't accessible. So it's come out of there, and it's now going to go into the kitchen pod unit, which is behind the driver's seat in my van. And yeah, let's crack on. Let's do it. Nice little interlude, lovely cup of tea, and a very nice chocolate chip cookie made by my daughter Abby. Thanks, Abs. That makes fan building so much more pleasant. Here's something I do want to share with you. I think is vitally important. Having worked for a while with a good mate of mine in shop fitting, never work cluttered. Just, it's a nightmare. I see so many people doing their van builds, and they're cutting stuff on saw benches and stuff on the floor, and it's a ball ache. Don't do it. If you can avoid it, don't do it. See, I've got one of these little Black & Decker workmate thingies, real cheap one. I mean, you could pick them up second hand for about a tenner, and probably less. And that just stops you having to kneel on the floor every 5 minutes that you're cutting something or measuring something or whatever, or painting stuff even. So that makes life a lot easier. But also this, you're looking into my garage here, and believe it or not, on the right hand side here, currently, this is my my wooden futon which fits in the van, and its mattress, and some other mattresses on top of that, and a load of other gear, plus tons of stuff out of caravan, and loads of other stuff as well, and storage boxes, and you name it. You cannot move in my garage. It is cluttered to the nth degree. There's just a space to walk through the middle, and that's your lot. And I'm trying to work on and do the jobs on the van in amongst all of this. It's a nightmare. So I'm going to take some time out, as much as I possibly can, and I haven't got a lot of choices, to be fair, because there's nowhere for me to put all this stuff. But I would highly recommend, if you've got the opportunity of clearing some space and getting some workbenches, even if it's just something you have to put up and put down each time you use it, do it, because there's nothing worse than working in clutter, and you'll do a really crap job if you're working in clutter, trust me. So part one started. The instructions on the roof vent say that you need to construct this, which is going to be the internal excuse me, internal fixings which this is going to be screwed onto. So when that comes through the roof, the screws that come through the roof from that to secure it in place up there where it sits on a bed of Cycloflex, it screws into this timber frame, and then the bottom section will slot over the timber frame. I'll just get that to do that. Not quite like I'm doing. Complete cock up, but never mind. That'll fit over the timber frame on the inside. I won't push it down, but it will fit. That'll fit over it, and that screws into it as well. So there you've got your fittings, and then the roof lining fits up to that. There's nothing to tell you what the sizes for your roof lining depth and everything else are. Mine is going to be tongue and groove 8mm, I think it is. I've got mine. So my next part is to bond that. Well, screw it together, because at the moment it's just cut. Bond it then to the ceiling in the right place. First of all, I'm going to cut the hole in the van, and then I'll bond it to the ceiling in the right place, because you know that's just cock-ups waiting to happen. And then I'll be able to screw it all in, and well, Bob's your uncle. Now today there is rain in the air, to be fair, and I'm doing this outdoors. I don't have the luxury of a workshop or anything to do this in, so it's a bit like, do I risk it? Do I suck it and see? Do I just crack on with it and do it, or do I wait for a better day? And at the moment, as it's not actually properly raining, it's just mist in the air, a bit of moisture in the air, I think I might go with it. So there's a cock up here to be had. Watch this space. Well, it was forecast, and it is here. It is actually raining, and I don't know if you can see that in the front screen of the van. Maybe, maybe not. The rain has arrived, so the vent fitting has paused, I'm going to say. Because I know it's going to clear, according to the forecast, it'll clear up a bit later on, and then it's due to rain sort of 5 o'clock-ish this afternoon, so I should have the vent up and done by then, or I'll cop out and go with plan B. But the frame is done, and it's all ready to go up there. I've just got to get brave, get on the roof and cut a hole in it. And well, it's not going to be that difficult, to be fair. So happy days. I have now cut the hole in the roof. The rain stopped, went away, and I got up there and hacksawed through that. Actually, I didn't hacksaw, I did it with a jigsaw. So that's good. And here's another piece of advice: if you're going to do that, get a decent jigsaw. Don't use a cheap, crappy one like I just did. I'm happy with how straight the lines are, but it was quite tough going, although I did buy some new blades to do this. So all I've got to do now is just to run around that with a file and take any of the rough swarf off it, offer up the parts to make sure everything fits. I've got some rust to sort out up there, which is still left, but I was expecting that, and bond in my wooden frame, which here's one I made earlier. Bond in the wooden frame, and then it's ready to Cycloflex around the outside and fit the vent and screw it down. Pretty pleased with that. So good bit of progress today so far. So onwards and upwards before the rain comes back.